Ask any farmer, and there are changes they would make to their farm. There's changes they do make and can make, practices, inputs, but there's changes they can't make. What changes would you make? If I said it's a genie in a bottle kind of thing, I'm pulling off this miracle. Here, guys, you can make this change for the betterment of your entire farming operation. What would it be? That's what I'm talking about with my friends Temple, Matt, and Chad in this episode of The Granary.
On a farm, the work's never really done. We're calling the day anyway, because my friends from XtremeAg are coming over. You ready for a conversation with some real farmers about real issues? And the best part, you're invited. So pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, most importantly, pull up a chair. Welcome to The Granary. Hey guys.
All right, the fun part of this show is you don't know the topic until I introduce it. And that's kind of cool because I think that the viewer needs to understand how much scripting is there. Zero script.
Well, that's the same way with our videos, though. Well, we don't ever know that topic until we see it.
Yeah.
So this ain't nothing for us.
Just toss the topic out there. It's not just one thing. It could be multiple things. You can change about your farm operation. You guys change your inputs. You change your practices. Since I started working for you, you've changed things from here to here to here to here. But there's stuff you can't change. What would you change that you can't?
I think everybody already knows my answer before I'm going to say it.
I actually don't.
I don't.
I have no idea what you're going to say.
I would definitely change my soil, and I would definitely change my temperature. If I could do those two things, then I could farm like the.
Are we talking about a change that you know that you can make or
Can't make.
The one that I give you a magic wand. Because there's the ones you already are doing. You guys are doing a heck of a job every day of this didn't work. I'm going to try this. New products. Chad's down there. Every day is a new experiment. But the stuff you know you can't change. But I give you a magic wand. Chad, what's the magic wand thing you're going to do?
You're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to phone a friend on that one because I'm still thinking like there's so many things running through my mind right now that I want to change.
Okay, give you one of them.
And then. But then really do I want to change it? Because when you change one thing, then what else are you changing?
everything behind
Everything. So then you don't know nothing again. Like you thought you knew something and then you don't know. You then got to start over. Oh no, I ain't starting over. I'll just stay where I'm at.
What happens if you went back to what you can change and probably won't? Because of
That's the question.
That's a question. What I can change but won't is me step back and let some other people have some input. That's my biggest problem. It's probably one of all of our problems.
Control.
Because we will not relinquish control. We had a control issue because I was called a control freak when Damian came up. He wanted to go run my combine.
Actually, it wasn't even his combine.
It wasn't even his combine.
It was one of our sponsors, and he was acting like it was his.
Was my corn?
I'm going to tell you something.
I did lose my.
I'm going to tell you
ready to lose my shit.
What will change that, and Matt probably vouch for this. If it's your kid in there, you won't let them run that combine when they that big because you'll get off the road. You know, we're still trying to make payments on this stuff. Well, but if your grandkid jumps in there, you don't care if he crosses 6 rows.
You don't care what.
I mean, you don't even care. Like, Tinley get in there, and I'll be like, clunk, clunk, clunk. I will come back and get it. Just don't even mind. Like,
Run into a tree.
Run into a tree.
Okay, we'll fix that.
I'm going to give you that magic wand.
Again, and I got to change it.
Well, you don't have to. I like Temple's idea of the things that you won't change, and that mostly comes down to control. By the way, you're not the only farmer. When you said that, the person watching this, there's a farm wife watching this that said, oh my God, Larry, they're talking about you. You won't give them control either. Everyone watching this.
But we could make our farms way more successful if you take a little bit of initiative and you go to make that step and you start to relinquish some of it and you just give them the control of the side of whatever they're good at, right?
Yeah.
If they have something that they're really good at, you give them that control. You did it with land.
I'm in the middle of it now.
You're right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of that.
And I'm in the middle of it as well. And I'm right now where I am, the ones like Alexander, he's good at certain things. And now I've gotten to the point, I ask him, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
There you go. You've stepped across that line.
When you step across that, now the hard thing is when he says what that is, and I'm like,
I want to do it.
Doing that? You know what I mean? And me and him getting an argument.
Can't do that.
I did that in 1982. Let me tell you how it worked for me.
Yeah.
Not worth a dang.
We need to let him make that mistake.
Well, I've gotten to the point where I let him, what do you want to do? Well, I want to do this. All right, we'll do this. I do want you to know that I've done this before and it didn't work out for me. Maybe it'll work for you. So, and he'll be like, well, maybe. So what happened? And I would tell him the answer. You know, I'm in the middle of that now. The difference maybe in me and you, I'm to the point now where I want to back up and lose control. I want to be able to go. This is my goal. I want to be able to go shop when I want to. And I want to be able to go home when I want to.
Yeah. And you said you want to lose control. You really meant you want to continue to cede, to give up certain bits of control.
Well, the difference between him and I is he wants to lose control. Like he wants to lose the control part and hand it over. If I hand it over, I will lose control here. Like, I'm going to go.
There's two different controls.
There's two different controls. I'm the second one.
I started this 4 or 5 years ago. You started it last year.
Yeah, you're right.
So I've got 3 years.
And you told me, you coached me on how to get to that point, and I am doing better.
Look how he's doing poor Lane.
Slow.
Okay? He wants to lose control, but yet he goes and picks up 1,500 acres.
Here.
Now, wait a minute.
Here's more I add to your plate.
Now, let's look.
I gave up 850.
You right.
But you still gain.
I did gain.
And now, wait a minute. So
Would you rather farm right beside your other farm or 30 miles from
No,
home?
you're right. You're right.
I mean,
but maybe I'm helping you
what
see the
you're
whole
saying.
picture, right? Maybe I'm trying to slow your planner down.
Let me ask you this question.
It's just like I told y'all.
Like I done told y'all once.
I told you once on the previous episode.
Can you just go through that one time? Because that's what has helped me.
What's
get to
that?
the point of relinquishing some control. That saying that you have, I'm gonna told you one more time, overmanaged, under whatever that thing it is.
Overcropped or undermanaged. You're either one of the two. You're either overcropped or undermanaged.
In my case, I could
Or
both.
you're.
Or you're both.
What about number 3?
What is number 3?
I mean, you may be over-equipmented.
That's somebody else that we know.
Him?
I ain't pointing fingers. I mean, you just pointed fingers. I mean, ask Damian to do it. He's good at pointing fingers.
Now, wait a minute. Back to the question at hand. We never did. I want to get back to the genie.
Temple said there's the changes you could make, but you won't. And he said,
I really like sitting
control.
beside him.
What's the changes?
You're on the
what's
winning
the
side.
the changes that you could make, but you won't? And then we'll go back to the genie.
Okay, so I would like to be like Matt and be 100% irrigated.
Okay.
I would like to know that if I can have grain bins. Let's just talk about grain. Yeah. We can talk about cotton or we can talk about grain. But let's just talk about, the things that's made our farm the most money is having the grain bins and irrigation. Yep. So when we have the irrigation and we have the grain bins, it allows Stuart to make the decisions that he can make an educated decision because
on marketing,
bar a natural disaster, he knows we're going to make X.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you can make that decision and he can make that decision 12 months. And I joke him all the time, like he's making decisions 13 months out of the year, but he's making decisions 24 months, 12, 15, 16, 18, 20 months ahead. At any given
time, I've talked to Stuart, and Stuart might be marketing 3 different years of crops.
So
just corn.
About this, if you had the soil and the temperatures, you wouldn't need irrigation.
That's what I'm talking about. So say and that's what we talked about.
Magic wand part.
To start with, if I get one, do I have to give one up?
So you brought that up a little bit ago, and I think that's okay. The magic wand, but the other one that you said that's very dead on. You say, okay, I gave my magic wand and I can make this change. Matt all of a sudden gets cooler nights and warmer, cooler days, and then he gets better soil.
And then the corn don't dry down.
Well, the thing is, he's going to have to make 93 more changes. You'll think of, like when they threw a mongoose into Australia or whatever the hell it was.
Do you understand
into the environment?
Where this man would go mentally if he was like farmers in Iowa, like Kelly, or even like Kevin, that's still got corn in the field, maybe, or beans? Do you understand mentally where he would be right now if corn was still in the field?
I wouldn't be here.
He was.
I promise you that.
I would not be here.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the good Lord put us where we needed to be and what we need to be there.
Because what you can handle.
That's why me and you ain't got what we ain't got. I mean, like, when you know.
Yeah. I mean, but you're right. You take the first time I came to your place and I was like.
Wait a minute. The first time. Matt's been over there about 25 times.
Man,
I've been to his place
twice.
like half a time.
I've been to your place twice, and I've been to his.
How many times have you been to Matt's?
Counting that
mentally,
time,
not
none.
spiritually.
Zero.
Not
mentally, I've been there with him multiple times.
Spiritually, it's been there a lot.
Yeah, spiritually, I've been there.
And you needed that.
I have it in my mind what I think it's like, but it's probably not like that. I saw a picture once.
There was one point in time when Caroline called and said, hey, I can get these flights because I fly all the time. Me and Temple are going to come down there. And will you pick us up at the airport? We'll stay a day or so and go back. And I'm like, heck yeah, I will. He wouldn't do it.
He painted a quick hitch that day.
He painted a quick
I
hitch.
probably did.
Sorted his boat man. He was sorting his boat man.
Can we get back to the topic? What I was going to get at.
You know, he got mad over me using them boats to crack him lobsters.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Half them people took them home.
They were grade 8s too.
Oh, yeah. I was there. I got one.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's in my shop.
Who does that?
All right. So Chad's got a brilliant point. You do the magic wand thing, and, all of a sudden, that changes 9 more things that you were not anticipating.
And then you don't know, again, we're back 20 years ago and you don't know nothing. I'm going to use a bleeper right here. You don't know beep like anymore. Like you started all over.
Yeah. I give you a magic wand. All of a sudden, I give him different weather and different soil. Okay, that's nice.
And then he'd freeze to death.
By the way, and now you know what else? You're out of the cotton business. You've been in the cotton business since you were a baby because you just changed your weather.
I don't mean every bit of the weather. I get a genie, okay? I want cool nights,
Okay.
warm days,
All right.
and 18 foot of topsoil with water holding capacity where I don't have to irrigate. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't want the winter.
So you still are in cotton.
Yeah, cotton. If you look at Arizona, where you live
San
in the sun,
Joaquin. That's what I was finna say.
Winter.
they have 100-degree days and they have 50-degree nights, and they grow 5-bale cotton.
Giving you a magic wand.
Run that through a picker at 5 mile an hour.
Temple, what are you going to do?
What I would do
You
with
can't.
I want to farm, and I'm not saying that it ain't easy because it's not. Because again, you change one thing, you got 9 more behind them. I'd like to farm in the Midwest. If I could have done everything all over again, I would have left the farm where I farm at when I was a young man,
Yep.
and I would have started a career somewhere else.
He's wrong.
Hey, let
No,
me,
I'm not.
Can I
No,
quiz
you
him on a
can't
question?
cut in. It's my
I just
turn.
wanna ask a
You
question.
can't talk right now.
I want a rebuttal to this.
Me too.
Okay, both of you. You get it as soon as I'm done.
All right, who goes first?
Because, and here's why. If you can have topsoil that's that deep and you can do a really good job and be super particular like Chad is, and you take all those personalities and you mix them all together, if I could have all that in one place and then have a field that's flat, that's tiled, that you can get rid of the water by tile lines, and versus me where I am, I've got surface ditches, and every time you're going across the field, like all of that stuff, after
irrigation.
years of will kill you. Like it will drive you nuts. I mean,
track.
it does not help my anger issues at all. I'm already mad one day.
Yeah.
Like you get so
And you just
tired
want to
of
open
that.
the door and jump out. Let's leave the
Yeah.
tractor running and just jump out.
What's your tire pressure? What's your tire pressure?
But it don't matter.
Oh, it does matter because I went through this the other day. We got a new tractor that you make fun of.
Wait a minute.
And I'm
Whoa,
over
whoa, whoa.
there.
All
and when
yours
I
are
turn
tracks.
No, they're not. When I turn on the end, I'm on the
bush hog
phone with you.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
Slamming me to the side, and
Boom.
I called Lane. I said, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I've never been on a new 8R tractor this rough. Go to the shop next day. Chris goes and said, what's your air pressure? I don't know. Went over and looked, 40. We put them on 18 and 20.
Yeah, I mean, I know
I can
that,
help
but
you
like,
with some things.
you can't help me with this. Trust me, I know
It gave you a magic wand.
It drives
It's called
me crazy.
an air compressor.
I'm just-
Tire gauge.
and look, it's still.
This is my deal. I've been to everyone's farm, contrary to
Including mine.
Right. And yours is beautiful, by the way. Of all the places, if I could choose a place to farm, it's crazy. I would choose his place. Now,
In
I would
Maryland.
choose Kelly's soul.
Oh yeah.
Where
Ain't no way I'd pick Kelly's hillside. Like I fall down.
No,
like I couldn't get
well,
up there.
even-
How about if you
and
take
then,
Kelly's and just push it off?
even the flat Iowa ground is so cold there. Temple's, you would think he would be colder than the Midwest. They're not.
Uh-oh.
They got the trade winds. You're in a perfect area with almost Moscow.
Would you take Lee
Yeah.
Luber's? Would you take Lee Luber's property?
Lee wouldn't even take his. and I mean that in the best way possible. You take Lee, like we got to do some riding with him, and there's a story about me going up there,
it's freezing.
and Marie told me like put on all the clothes you got and just reverse the outside layer. Just put them all on. Don't even take a bag. Just put 4 layers on. Get on the plane and just get the outside layer off. It's 4 days worth. Yeah. So, but Lee was up there and he was like, I said, Lee, how'd you get here? Got to spend some time. Like, how did you get here? He said, the wagon wheel run off in the Midwest. And he said, they fixed the dang thing. And he said, then they drove here and it fell off again. This is where we at. He said, why didn't they just stop the first time it run off, you know? But that's a true story. Like, you'll have to ask him about it.
All right, so magic wand, you're going to be my neighbor. Maybe not here in Indiana. Maybe you go to Illinois because you said 18 feet of soil. We don't have that. So you're going to be a Midwestern guy. He's going to get better soil, better weather.
Well, keep in mind, even if I did go out there and I became Midwest, I don't know how to farm there. I'd go to Midwest right now. I'd go broke.
I still want to
Rebuttal, go.
Okay. So the one thing is, like I said, I've got some friends up there, you know, so I'm an expert. You know, I know somebody I can call up there in the Midwest, and so I'm an expert, right? Anyway, but no, you see that and you think, oh man, I'd trade for it. Well, I would trade for it in the middle of the season. But the front of the season and end of the season, I wouldn't trade nothing because their ground just does not warm up. Like, it will not warm up, you know, and then on the tail end of the season, they cannot get the crop to finish. You know, and I'm like, man, we can't slow it down. They can't speed it up, you know, so.
What could you do with a little lower nighttime temperatures?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Pray.
Like,
You ain't got no choice
Well,
but
you know
to
what
pray.
you could do. Your yields will go up 20%.
I mean, I don't know. You know, one time, and I'd hate to keep bringing David up and keep picking on him, you know, because he's in the same spot up there with and Kevin gets in that microclimate up there, you know, and he makes some dang good corn. And it's hot, but he gets.
Kevin's only 5.5, 6 hours from me.
So
he's way hotter than I am.
Yep. But we went racing one time, and it was in like August or September. We come up there and we put a coat on. I was in Virginia, and I put a coat on like that night.
In August?
Yeah.
It may have been September. It don't matter. It ain't happening in the South.
Yeah, where you?
And I looked at him. I was like, man, don't ever. He said, no, this don't happen all the time. I'm like, oh.
How many thousands of acres of corn do you grow every year? So wait a minute. I'm going somewhere with this. A pile of corn.
Yep.
And when I came to your place, I looked at your dryer and I said, where's your dryer? You said, it's right there. And I thought, huh? Because their crop races and it dries down so fast, they'll be harvesting 16% corn like that. I've hardly ever in my lifetime shelled 17% corn.
And putting in the bin, blowing 95-degree air on it, you know.
It doesn't happen at home. So his size dryer that they got wouldn't work for an 800-acre farmer up home.
You noticed that he didn't pick anything that we had. Like, he picked nothing. Like, hey, I got this magic wand.
Exactly.
You know? He picked nothing that us do.
And here's why. Because Matt's exactly right with what he chose. It was real hot nighttime temperatures, real hot for 17 days up home. And I thought I was going to die this year. And I called him and I was like, I don't know how you live in the South because this is what the South must be like. And I'm telling you, it pulled yields away from our corn bad. Now, what it did help is we had all that stress during vegetation on soybeans, and it made our beans.
So I give him.
I make pretty good beans. I just can't make corn.
I give him a magic wand, and he translocates. He
comes to your farm.
He relocates his farm from Maryland to an I-state. Let's say I give you a magic wand, and you change to cooler nights and soil that actually has organic matter in it, which is something I've never seen in DeShay County. And then, joking aside, but not really.
No, he's right.
I give you a magic wand. What do you do with your magic wand?
Well, I mean, I think that, again, I think for the farm, the whole farm purpose, I think I want to be 100% irrigated. You know, and I'll take my dirt, like I said.
But you could do that.
And I could.
You don't need a magic wand, you just need bunny.
No, not really. Like, you can't even do it. But I mean, you can't even get enough fields, you can't get enough water. Like, you can't even do it.
Okay, so it's really not.
It's not even something you could do.
It's not possible.
It's not
to have
even
a pivot
possible
on every farm.
No, it's not.
Because the water's not there.
Yeah, the water's not there.
See, that's the thing we deal with. Is there's some certain places at home we're 100% irrigated.
We covered this in another episode.
Yeah,
but
so we
get
have
third of the
farms.
volume.
There's one across the road that some neighbors got across the road. I think they drilled 20 holes in it trying to find water. Place looks like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
You know, trying to find water, and you wouldn't think it. There's water on one side of the road, not on the other. And like, who knows why? But Matt's spot on with the cooler temps. If we get the cooler temps, but let's say that I got the cooler temps, Matt. Well, then we would have to lose our basis. We'd lose our dollar basis. You know, we can move up north. Well, then we're gonna get $1.50 for the corn.
And by the way, to the person,
you ain't gonna make no more.
The person watching this that maybe is, you know,
in an I-state bank, like, y'all are crazy.
Well, they're probably saying, what's he talking about? In the South, the bit advantage you do have, you got some weather problems, and God knows you got alligators. poisonous snakes. That you wouldn't mess with me. But the one thing you get is you harvest corn August 1st and sell it for $1 more than the corn that's coming out of the field behind my house.
Yeah, that's true.
Because in Indiana, we're missing that early opportunity.
When it all comes down to it, none of us are going to move.
Again,
because we've gotten good at what we're doing.
We had a magic wand.
We're not going to change anything.
If you could, let's just go back one more time and say if you pick one thing with a magic wand, it wouldn't change nothing. I'm like Matt, mine will be cooler nights. I think you can make more with cooler nights than you could with irrigation overall. So one thing.
But one year out of 10, you guys will get it, and then you'll have a bumper crop.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway, what's your one thing?
2012, we had mild weather, and that's the best crop overall, the most money I've ever made in my life. You could take everything prior to 2012 and add it up, and it wasn't going to be a whole lot more than that 1 year that we had that weather. I know what it'd do.
We put our first pivot in 12. I
didn't even know how to farm.
The corners made 40 bushel, and the pivot made 240.
Yeah,
and we sold it for I think $850 or $880 or something like that. Paid for the pivot in 1 year. I thought, we
made you wonder why you couldn't figure out a way to get some water in them corners too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything besides location and weather, is there anything magic wand wise operationally? Is there anything magic wand that you look at that frustrates you? Okay, we know the guys that frustrate every day over something.
If I could magically make things change, I would probably stay in the situation that I was in. I was in one of them yearly swings, where I updated my equipment all the time, and I kind of got myself out of that. And I wish I kind of stayed in that. That's kind of a wish of looking backwards.
Man, you can't do that here.
Man,
we just bashed this man.
But
you do that to me outside, but you can't do it in front of him. Look at him cheesing.
But if I did do that, if I had done that and I stayed in that, maybe I could have spent some more time in the office and not out there wrenching on something and bunching my
look. Let's just look at this. Look at his.
I mean,
that's what that'll get you. Yeah, that's what that'll get you.
I don't know. Maybe I'd have better life.
Is there anything operationally you would magic wand?
I'd put it all in one square block.
Just location. For each.
But you're talking about equipment wise?
I don't know.
Anything.
Anything within the operation. I think that's a smart one there. Because good. Then we talk so much about efficiencies in agriculture. I'll tell you when Kevin's and he's driving 18 miles to get to a 43 acre field.
I'll tell you something.
Our biggest problem with efficiency in agriculture, you know what it is? Us.
You know what his biggest problem is? Imagine this.
Here we go. We're going to talk about me now.
Imagine this.
Well, you're on the loser side.
This is not bad.
I want to sit back over there.
Imagine this. Imagine me and you spray around the field, right? You come out and you turn in him.
Oh, hell
This man right here goes to every end, stops, folds the boom up, turns around.
How would you like that?
Folds back out, takes back off.
Right.
Goes to every end. No spray.
I tell you what I would be if I was
across the ditch down there.
You know what I would be if I was that guy? Not the sprayer guy. I quit. Ain't no way. You buy the nicest sprayer in the world, I'd be like, I don't like you, your sprayer, or your...
That is one of the most aggravating things.
That's one thing I would change about your place is like, I'd have
headlands.
I'd love to have headlands.
Smooth headlands.
Look, he could take the wells and just push them further out in the field and turn around there all the time.
No, he won't do that because they're afraid they're going to lose an inch.
No,
because it's all about quantity. No,
you got to see if the irrigation gets out.
Why is it
hero?
You got to.
No, you see, but we want you to sow down 100 feet all the way around the field.
Do what now?
Exactly.
That's just money. He can't be doing that.
He ain't doing that.
I know the feeling because I got 2 pivots now that I made like strips, set the pivots in because I couldn't stand it. Like I calculated like it's 4 to 5 rows, and that long. I'm like, shoot, I got to make a payment. I ain't leaving no grass out there.
No.
If I was Chad Henderson and had a magic wand operationally, I would think just from your perspective, the encroachment issue is going to be a difficult. And I didn't want to get into that too much and bring up somebody, but because you're young enough that you want to stay in the farming game for another 20 years, and you got Amazon.
There ain't no way he's making it 20 more years. Are you kidding me? He drives a race car.
You got vinyl film.
He's talking about the farm, not me.
Oh, he said you're going to farm 20 more years. That's all I heard.
Operation.
I said,
That's
no way.
probably where I'm just thinking. Again, you're the first farm I went to. Am I right? Operationally, Magic Wand is.
I mean, that's really a problem. Like that is
That's
a real problem. A real problem. You know that video me and you done? We really can't talk about it a whole bunch. We're glad that thing didn't get out when we talking about them GMOs, you know. We got into there and, you know, everybody's going just like, let's all go out there and have to raise our own food, you know. That's what is going to happen around me because we got 2 Amazons and I'm not bashing Amazon and Toyotas. I mean, it's progress, right? We all got to have progress. Like we got to have a place to build.
Well, they're going to
We just need to even it out. It don't need to be all at my place. We should have took some to Arkansas.
They're going to try it out. Eventually,
Matt needs it.
I would encourage it.
you know how many Amazons you can build on that big wide open flat ground?
Oh, I know.
That ain't got no organic matter anyway.
There is no. You
can't build
put,
roads out of that shit.
You can't put concrete.
There's a reason that nobody's doing that in D.C. County. There's no humans there to buy the stuff from Toyota.
We don't need humans there. We just need a depot center.
You know,
We
do you
send everything
understand
to
that the rail can
distribution.
move things?
Oh, okay.
Like we have Mississippi River, we got rail. Let's just do that, Matt. Me and you just build us a Toyota.
I think.
All right, I'm in.
Hold on. Let him go calculate it out.
Yeah,
He can
let me
come
go
back and be
think
like,
about this.
that ain't going to work.
I'm gonna call Kelly. Kelly be like, I'm in. And then we're gonna. Yep, and we will get.
I got to throw one thing out there that, you know, I threw this question. I know it's a little out there, but I think everybody that watches this discussion, they got in their head what they would magic wand on their farm. And I think too many people, you can say magic wand, make myself $10 million. No, we never said that. Magic wand your farm.
Can we still don't work every day? Want to do the same thing? I'll tell you. I mean, you take Johnny Burrell. He's in the same situation I am. I mean, he's next, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin's the same situation.
There is a
I'm in.
reverse side of this. You've heard this a million times. Be careful what you wish for.
You ain't wrong.
You know, I mean, I would
You
probably.
ain't wrong.
You ain't wrong.
You ain't wrong.
If I was in control of the weather, everybody'd be screwed. If I was in control of the markets, everybody.
He'd be like, we're going to pick one more day. All y'all ain't got y'all's cutting out. We're going to get a rain because I got to get my 20 acres of wheat up.
It's the other one. It's the other one that Chad pointed out. You know, when you start changing, because most people don't think that way, you change this, it messes up the entire ecosystem. It used to be that TV show Fantasy Island where people would go there and live out
Is
their
that
fantasy.
the plane? The plane, boss, the plane.
But if you remember how they all mended, they went there to become, I always wanted to be a Major League Baseball pitcher, and it turns out their life was a disaster after they became Major League, because it changed, you know, everything. So the idea is be careful what you wish
That's like
for.
being rich. You know, being rich would be the worst thing that happened to me. Because I'd be sorry and probably I'd change
No,
my
you
whole
wouldn't.
personality.
We'd help you with your money. You wouldn't be rich long.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know,
We
what I'm
lose
saying.
it. You're on the wrong side. You got to get on that side again.
All right, nobody's going to get a magic wand, but you know what? It's a heck of an interesting contemplation, isn't it?
Well, you know, it makes you grateful for what you got.
What you do.
You know
Well,
what
see,
you
we
got.
came full circle. We want this. Then we figured out
We really
maybe
want
we
it.
don't want that because it's going to change this. So it's full circle.
And we're going to stay
Just
right where
like-
we're at.
Hey,
Just
full
like
circle.
your ag, yeah.
And we're going to.
All right, guys. I love the conversation, and I hope you did too. You don't have a magic wand, but you know what you do have? You have a spot right here at this table at the Granary with people like my friend Chad, Matt, and Temple, where you can come here, pour yourself a drink, and talk about farm stuff, real conversations with real farmers that have been through real life, just like you. You know what? The Granary is brought to you by our friends at Nature's. This episode is brought to you by Nature's. Nature's a fertility company can help you get more using BioK technology. In fact, Nature's BioK technology is brought to you by XtremeAg. So check out natures.com and thank them a little bit for helping you come to us through their sponsorship. Thanks so much, Nature's. And thanks you guys for being here. Till next time. See you back here at the Granary. Cheers.
And then
I'll definitely take D-Shaw County. I'll take D-Shaw County.
yeah, D-Shaw,
I would have turned
That's what he did in D-Shaw.
D-Shaw.
I'll take D-Shaw.